Welcome guys, I'm Exosta and in today's video I'm going to review essence farming, which is a very loved strategy between content creators, and today I want to give my own personal take on this topic because essences are very profitable in any moment of the league and also in standard, and they sell in bulk for quite a bit because they are always useful for crafting, especially in this meta in which you have a lot of fractured items that can synergize very well with the essence crafting method. So first of all, let's learn something about essences through my Google spreadsheet, which is the Magic Find Academy strategy guide. It's a very complete spreadsheet about many farming strategy in the game with profit summaries and build guides about my Magic Find build, and many other informations are contained which you may find useful. Now, for essence farming, the first thing we want to know is how are divided how essences are divided. They are divided in many groups: group A, B, C, D, E, and then we have group F, which are the corrupted essences, and they are also divided by tiers from 1 to 8. Now, normally you are finding screaming essences at best in your maps, but as we will see through passive notables in your Atlas passive tree, you can also find shrieking essences in the wild. It is very important to remember this division in different groups because there is a type of essence called Remnant of Corruption, which I show you in a moment, is this one. This corrupts an essence and modifies it unpredictably. Now, unpredictably means basically these outcomes. First, we have transform essence types to random ones belonging to a higher group, and this is why groups are important. You want to know where an essence is and how profitable, how expensive are essences in each group. So basically, if you are getting, let's say, an essence in group A, you are transforming it in group B, which is not particularly profitable. But let's say you are corrupting a group E essences, well, you can transform that in group F, which is the corrupted essences, which are very, very expensive. Not only that, but you can also corrupt for to add an additional essence, or you can upgrade all essences by one tier, which is one of the most powerful outcomes, because if you corrupt screaming essences, you're going to obtain shrieking. If you corrupt shrieking, you're going to obtain deafening. The last two outcomes are not good. The first is monsters are broken free with empowered stats and do not provide any bonus to essences. The last one, nothing happens. The imprisoned monster stays the same. So yeah. Now, let's see how the Atlas passive tree affects our gameplay. Now, essence farming is a very fast farming strategy, and as such, we want to use an alk and go approach. We are going to run very fast maps. So with the extra Atlas passive points that we will use, we want to focus on something that is profitable when running maps very, very fast. We don't want slow content such as abysses, breaches. We want content that is fast. And that's why I also allocated the passive notables for Metamorph, which is a very underrated mechanic that can give you quite a bit of profit very, very fast paired with essences. So now let's first review the essence passive points. The first notable is Prolific Essence. Your maps contain an additional essence. This is very important in this meta because right now we don't have essence crafting option in our map device. So adding one essence is very, very important. Then we have crystal lattice. Imprisoned monsters in your maps have 15% chance to have 3 additional essences. We have crystal resonance. Monsters imprisoned by a shrieking essence in your maps will be duplicated when released, and corrupting imprisoned monsters in your maps cannot release them. Now, this is one of the most important notables because duplicating your essences is very impactful on your profit. Whenever you get a screaming essence and you transform it into a shrieking one, your essences will be duplicated. Beware though that deafening essences are not getting duplicated. This is only working for shrieking, not for shrieking or better. That's something you want to keep in mind when you apply your Remnant of Corruption, especially if those are expensive early in the league. Going back to the Atlas passives, we have Amplified Energies, probably the best one. Essences found in your maps are a tier higher. This allows to find Shrieking Essence in the wild, which you can corrupt for a chance to obtain Deafening Essences. Now, as any Alkengo farming strategy, map sustain is a bit tricky because we are not getting, we're not killing a lot of monsters. We're not clearing our maps very well to be as fast as possible. So what I like to do is take Shaping the Skies, the mountains, the valleys, and the seas, just to get that extra chance to find tier 16 maps. And I also use Singular Focus because I really want to run the same layout, which would be Strand. Strand is a very linear map, very easy to run, and you are always sure to not miss any of your essences in the map by playing that. We also have Stream of Consciousness Keystone, which is very good to add extra essences. I decided to include all of the extra passive notables here, the extra content notables. So you have a total of plus 18% to get extra content. I didn't allocate ethics review just to make it so that I can find metamorph encounters. A thing that I really like about Metamorph is this passive notable here, which is your maps have 40% chance to contain a rogue Metamorph. So that's also a bit of extra profit. I will not go in depth about Metamorph. This is for another video. Other passive notables that I really like when farming in an Alkengo strategy is Vivid Memories, plus 1.5% chance to get a synthesis maps from the map board, from the map boss. And then we get also Conquered Conquerors. Map bosses have 30% increased chance to drop a Conqueror map. And then Etched by Acid. Your maps have 10% chance to our double progress towards encountering the Eater of Worlds, which is the influence that we are using. In this meta, a possible alternative is to use Maven Influence and allocate instead the most toys. Defeating a map boss while witnessed by the Maven has 10% chance to count as also witnessing an additional random map boss. It really depends on what you like the most. Maven can now drop Awakened Gems from bosses, and that is pretty good, to be honest, but those are very rare. So if you want more consistent profit, in my opinion, Etched by Acid is better because the Eater of World invitation, the Screaming invitation, can sell for quite a lot, especially in Standard. So that's all about the Atlas Passive tree. A last mention about this notable here, Commissioned Officer. In any Alkengo strategy, I personally would like to put this notable because Kirak missions are very valuable. They can provide you with maps that have a special explicit. I'll show you in a second. It should be somewhere here. Yes. These maps modifiers to quantity of items found also apply to rarity. Now this is very useful for unique farming. This is something that a lot of people is doing both in League and Standard with Magic Find characters to get many tier 0 unique drops, which are very rare nowadays. So now that we covered the Atlas passive tree, let's check what to do with our sextants. Now, this is the elevated sextant for essences. Monsters imprisoned by essences have 50% chance to contain a remnant of corruption, and your maps contain 2 additional essences. The non-elevated variant only has 1 additional essence. So you might ask yourself, what happens when you have 50% chance to contain a remnant of corruption? Now, this is not particularly good in my opinion, because whenever a monster, an imprisoned monster, contains a remnant of corruption, you can't apply a new corruption to the imprisoned monster. So let's say that you get a remnant of corruption and some screaming or shrieking essences, you can't get your chance to obtain corrupted essences. So, for example, horror, delirium, and this is kind of bad. But the issue is that in the current meta, we don't have the map device option for essences. So getting as many essences as possible is going to affect your total profit per hour. And here in my Google spreadsheet, you can see that I made a small sample size about maps without the sextant, with awakened sextant, so only 1 additional essence, and the elevated sextant, which is a bit more expensive but gives you 2 essences. Now, as you can notice, the profit per hour is increasing as you are getting more essences, even though some remnant of corruptions can lead to bad outcomes. Now, the profit per hour that I calculated here is based on my character, so on my personal speed. You can do better, you can finish your map quicker than in 1 minute, or you can be a bit slower. SCs are not that easy to kill sometimes because some rare monsters are a bit nasty, but now that our arch nemesis is gone, I feel like essences are quite more accessible. The profit is good both in standard and in league, and as you can see in my profit summary, essences is actually one of the best farming strategy for league right now, at least between the ones that I tested so far. This is an ongoing work in progress experiment that I'm doing. I'm trying to review many farming strategies and put a profit per hour for you guys. This is also very competitive in standard. Actually, it is one of the most profitable strategies I saw so far that do not involve Magic Find farming. Magic Find is not going to affect essence drops in any way at all. As you can see, the profit is very consistent. Every different type of essence is going to add a bit of profit to the map. And now that I show you the sextant setup, which is extremely simple, we can also include the other sextant for the catalyst. But to be honest, since we are not using the scarabs to get metamorph, I'd rather just leave it without any other sextant and keep it cheap as possible. So here is a run. So you want to chisel your map as always and just put an alchemy. You don't want to roll the map or do anything special about that. We are just can go. Oh, it doesn't activate. So I fixed my map device. Now we can open the map. Remember to use the Ether World influence. If you have any map device mod that you like, that you want to run, feel free to do it. So this is the first one. As you can see, double shrinking, you always want to attempt to get deafening. In this case, they jumped group. So yeah, they are duplicated. They're duplicated due to
My
the
mana is gone.
Atlas passive notable. Okay, and this is an example of an essence affected by the Remnant of Corruption. As you can see, it already has a Shrieking, but you can't apply a new Remnant of Corruption to it.
I'm not up to that just yet.
This is another one with an Remnant of Corruption. And this is without the Remnant. Now, this is a case in which I personally don't like to use the Remnant of Corruption, because we got only Screaming Essence of Fear and of Sorrow. And if you get a look at the spreadsheet, this is from the wiki, by the way, thanks to the guys, you can notice that Fear is in group P as well as Sorrow. So the best we can hope to get is something on the group C, which is not something special, you know. So yes, to be honest, in this case, I don't recommend to use the Remnant of Corruption. You just loot the Screaming Essence and go on. Then you go straight to the boss in the attempt to get something special, a special crafting option, or some special master mission. Let's do another map. Sometimes you may run out of maps to run. In this case, what you can do is simply buy some stock. Maps are not that expensive to run. Are not that expensive to buy. So here you get the Shrieking and the Screaming. Let's see how it goes. Okay. So this one contains Shrieking plus Remnant. As you can see, in this map we got as map backs, another strand, and we also get some metamorph here. We shall see if we can make some profit from that. A nice thing is that metamorph sometimes can possess also the essence monsters. So now we are Shrieking and Screaming, we are using the Remnant, nothing changes. We open this. I will cover Metamorph in another farming strategy video, by the way. Okay, let's go next. I don't care about the altars here. For the sake of going fast, I might pass some, but I prefer to do so in order to optimize to optimize our speed. Sometimes, for reasons that I don't know, we don't get to see the essence mods. This is a bug, most likely. What we're going to do is to apply anyway the remnant of corruption, which turned decent in this case. I think that by going to hideout, you can, and then portal away, portal in, you can see again the essences, but I'm not sure.
I'm not up to that just yet.
What you should do is pre-roll your maps. You can spare some seconds by doing that. Okay, this is too shrieking, that's good.
My mana is gone.
A thing that you might notice at this point is that if you go to my spreadsheet, you can tell that whenever you upgrade an essence, let's say fear from group B to group C, you're getting rage. And as you saw right now, we upgraded rage to group D, which is loathing. I'm not sure if it works 100% of the time, but this is interesting because, as you can see, if you apply an essence of corruption to scorn, you get insanity, envy, horror, misery, delirium, dread, hysteria. Always corrupt these essences here, the purple ones, because you're getting a decent chance to get the very, very good corrupted essences. This is not an extremely fun farming strategy, in my opinion, but it is very accessible, and that's why that's something you might consider if you are running out of currency. This will generate currency very, very fast, and when you get, let's say, 10, 20 deafening, you're going to sell them for quite a bit in bulk. Okay, this was a Scorn Essence. Scorn Essences are in high demand because they can roll crit multi on amulets and rings. On a bower, what you can do is use Mirage Archer to increase your clear speed a little bit. Not worth it to use the remnant here.
I'm not up to that just yet.
That's a lot of shrieking. Okay, this has a chance to become a corrupted essence. Yes, we got both Essence of Insanity and Essence of Hysteria. So, okay guys, we made 6 maps so far, uh, and now I will show you how to upgrade your essences. You have the upgrade button here. My recommendation is to check market prices for shrieking or for deafening essences. Usually deafening sell a lot faster, but one thing that many players don't consider is that sometimes selling shrieking essence may be more convenient than selling deafening essence because the conversion rate is 3 to 1. So I convert 3 screaming into one shrieking, and I convert shrieking 3 shrieking into 1 deafening. So for example, shrieking essence of zeal is something I used for crafting a lot because that gave me 30% increased movement speed on boots, whereas deafening essence of zeal on boots was only 32%. So that's something you might want to consider if your intention is to sell for profit. Sometimes shrieking are better, or also if you want to craft something specific. Sometimes it's better to keep your shrieking. In this case, I will just upgrade everything to deafening though. Now we will update my Google spreadsheet. We run 6 maps, so this is 58. We have obtained a total of 17 grid, 13, 14 hatred. This is from my previous test. This is not something we attained right now, of course. I have a lot of fun making these spreadsheet calculators. This is something that I think many of you might find useful. I hope that this stat really grows. I always have some time constraints, so it's a bit hard for me to get big sample size, even though this farming strategy is rather fast. Okay, so as you can see, our profit per hour actually rised because we got a bit lucky with the Insanity and the Hysteria, and we got quite a bunch of deafening essences. Right now we have 10, almost 11 divines per hour in standard and almost 6 divines per hour in league, which is damn good. So if you want to contribute to this spreadsheet, let me know. This is something I really want to complete. And this is everything about this video. I hope that you like essence farming. This is a very profitable strategy, very consistent, and very relaxing to play when you don't want to go for mega juice. So for now, this is Exhausta, and I will see you in the next video.